In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the absolute basics of the Invent plugin, with subsequent tutorials going into these areas in more detail. So what I want to explain in this short video is just what the different areas of the Invent plugin are. So you'll see that if we have the Invent plugin open within Adobe InDesign, there's a few different tabs, 5 in total, which contain all of the information we're going to need to use. First off here, we have the Resources tab. So this is where we can actually add additional resources to our Invent file that we're going to be creating from this. By clicking on Add Resource Set, you can see the different type of resource that we're able to add to our Invent file, including background sets, clip art sets, font sets, text libraries, and color sets. Those are all specified within here, and then when we take that to MegaEdit, which we'll see in later tutorials, that data is brought over with that Exchange file. Next along, we have the Variables tab. Now this is how we can actually utilize our resources, and it also means that we can create a form which appears as part of the MegaEdit product, which allows us to modify that product's design. Now, as with the resources, there's a few different variable types available, which we'll cover during the course of this series. This includes things like generic variables, such as drop-downs or Boolean variables, so true or false, but then has some more specific variable types as well, such as time and date variables, specific image variables, color variables, and so on. The next tab along is the Properties tab. Now this is how we actually link the resources and the variables that we've created as part of our Invent design onto our actual canvas itself. Now before we can do anything with the Properties tab, we need to have the relevant type of element available on our main canvas. And what we're primarily looking for here is an image field or a text field. So I'm just going to utilize my rectangle frame tool over on the left just to create an image field as an example. And I'm going to do the same with the text type tool just to create a text box as well. Now when I select each of these and I'm on my Properties tab, you'll see that I have the ability to enable those particular frames. And what that means, if we tick enable, is that when we export this as a template file to take to MegaEdit, those fields will be considered dynamic and we'll be able to do additional things with them, either from the Invent file or within MegaEdit itself. So if I select on one of those, so the image for example, then enable, I see some additional settings which we'll cover in future tutorials. The last thing I want to talk about in this particular tutorial is the Export tab. This is how we actually create the resulting MEX or MEX file, which is what we take over to Infigo MegaEdit. Now in this particular tab, it shows us things such as how many variable fields we have, what resources we've uploaded, how many variables we have. It will take all that information into the MEX file ready for us to put into MegaEdit.